Pero alam niyo po mga boss, dumako naman tayo sa ating interview. Alam niyo po na ang Mexico at ang bansang Pilipinas ay nasa magandang relasyon na sa over 500 years. Kaya nga po naman para pag-usapan ang relasyon na yan o bilateral ties, makakasama po natin ngayong umaga dito sa Good Morning Boss, ang Mexican Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Ambassador Julio Camerana.
Nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here with the public this morning to talk about Mexico and Filipino relations.
Yes, buenos dias, sir.
Buenos dias. Mucho gusto.
Yes, can you tell, first of all, congratulations to your Independence Day yesterday and the Grito de Dolores last Monday.
In fact, yes, Mexico celebrated the 204th anniversary of its independence yesterday. However, we have a two-day independence or two-day national day. It starts on the 15th of September at night when we have the Grito de Dolores. It is a cry for independence that we made in either call for independence, and then we celebrate the next day. We had our independence from Spain, from the Crown of Spain, and 204 years ago, and that's what we're celebrating. Just like the Philippines was linked to Spain, in fact, many people know in the Philippines that you were linked to the Crown of Spain. Very few people know that, in fact, 500 years ago, for 250 years, while you were linked to the Crown of Spain, you were directly administered through the Vice Kingdom of New Spain, which was Mexico. In fact, therefore, for 250 years, the Philippines and Mexico were intricately connected, both as part of the Crown of Spain, but they were linked to each other. They are administered among each other. The connection was so strong that we had the Acapulco-Manila Galleon. The Acapulco-Manila Galleon was, in fact, the first form of free trade that existed between the Americas and Asia. And it went back and forwards, always from Acapulco to Manila, Manila to Acapulco. Manila collected all the goods from Asia, from China, Indochina, Vietnam, Malaysia, the whole region, and all the products came to Manila. And then from Manila straight into the port of Acapulco, the products stayed in the Americas and vice versa. Therefore, the linkages between the two countries are so strong that you have a lot of the food items that you have here, we also have in Mexico. A lot of our Mexican traditions like the piñata you have here.
Yeah, we have 30%, a lot of similarities.
Yes, 30% of Tagalog is in Spanish, but very few people know that 5% of Tagalog has words in the Aztec language, like chayote, camote, tomate, tiangi, palenque. These are all Aztec words, and these all show the intricacy of our two cultures. Today, with the launching of our 204th year independence, we're also launching a tequila festival.
Tequila festival. Well, Filipinos love tequila.
Yes. We're trying to promote the culture, the intricacies of our cultures, the intricacies of Mexico and the Philippines, how our cultures are connected, how our traditions are connected. Just a few minutes ago, I mentioned that we had many fiestas, many parties which are together. We have the piñatas, we have the banderitas, we have the family culture, and of course, tequila in Mexico is one of the elements of the culture, and so on. Tequila is one of the food or drinks of Mexico most promoted worldwide, and I know the Filipinos are big takers in it. It is important to say that tequila has a denomination of origin. That means if tequila is not made in Mexico, it's not tequila. It has that patent of a denomination of origin. It comes from blue agave, so it has to be a true tequila has to be 100% blue agave and made in Mexico, and only 4 states in the country, in fact. Not all of Mexico makes it, only 4 states of Mexico make tequila. Today, for example, we are celebrating Tequila Festival, where we're explaining what tequila is all about, what are all intricacies, how you drink tequila. Tequila is not drank in shots, but tequila is drank in small parts. And tequila has a whole tradition and culture in it. It's basically coming from the state of Jalisco, where we have a lot of the very traditional cultures, and of course we have the mariachi music that we'll hear a little later after the interview. You'll hear some of the music that goes around the area where tequila is made.
Well, tequila is one of the distinction of Mexican people. But can you tell us more about the Grito de Dolores? It's a week-long celebration.
Yes, and it basically starts on the 15th, the call of the 15th at 11 o'clock at night, where it remembers the leaders of our independence. At that time, it was a priest, the priest Miguel Hidalgo. and he called to church to all the citizens, of the town at Dolores, called them to church at 11 o'clock at night, rang the bell and called them to church. And then he told them, today we're not having Mass, today we're beginning the independence of our country, Mexico. He took the banner of the Virgin of Guadalupe, and that was our first flag, in fact. Took the Virgin of Guadalupe out, and that was the banner of independence. It started on the 15th, on 15th of September, 11 o'clock at night. Now, the interesting thing, this Grito de Dolores is reacted by the President of Mexico every year in the capital, Mexico City. By all the governors is reacted in every state, by all the mayors in every town, and by all the ambassadors in every embassy. So, of course, I did it here on the 15th of September like any other ambassador.
Yes, sir. There are 200,000 Filipinos residing or living in Mexico. How about Mexican people? How many are there here in the Philippines?
We have many Filipinos, many Mexicans coming to the Filipinos. The numbers vary constantly, but because we have very good investments, very new investments. I don't know if you are aware, Mexico was the #1 foreign direct investor in 2013 with the entrance of FEMSA. FEMSA bought the bottling company of Coca-Cola here in the Philippines. We also have Cemex that came in 1997 before. Kitsania is a joint venture with one of the networks. And of course we have Mabe. Mabe just came in last week. The investments of Mexico between Cemex that started at $1.3 billion US, FEMSA that started at $1.6 billion. They have paid 60% of it. Mabe and so on. The new one that just opened last week. In fact, the investments are reaching close to $3.5 billion.
Yes, sir. The Philippines-Mexico Business Club was created in 1996. Does this improve the business ties between the two countries?
The council, the business council, was actually relaunched this spring. It has improved the business between the two countries. I've mentioned to you the fact that we had, in fact, Cemex since 1997 are here, Mexican Cement. Then we had FEMSA last year being the #1 foreign direct investor. Just last week we had another huge investor, which was Mabe, coming in and for producing jobs and so on. So you'll see that the climate for investments, Mexican investments in the Philippines, haven't been increasing. There are also Filipino investments in Mexico. There's ICTSI, Ricky Razon's outfit that's running the port of Manzanillo, Colima, which is a very important endeavor, and the joint venture of one of the networks and Kitsania.
Yeah, Mexico is the number 14th powerful
economy in the world. Yes.
Economy in the world. Do Mexican government have plans to extend their business here in Southeast Asia, especially here in the Philippines?
In fact, Mexico sees the Philippines as the entryway into Southeastern Asia.
All right.
Why? Because of the intricacy of our cultures. It's easy to do business in the Philippines because we're culturally very similar. Yeah. And as such, for us, it's much easier to come into the Philippines and start endeavors and then move into other areas of Asia. The major companies that I mentioned to you that are in the Philippines are using also the Philippines as their headquarters to work in the whole region. So therefore, we plan to expand in Southeastern Asia, and we look at the Philippines as the entry gate of Mexico. We also would want to encourage Filipinos to invest in Mexico. Mexico, at this stage, has 12 free trade agreements worldwide. The most important being, one of the first ones is NAFTA, Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. So any product that you come and sell in Mexico can easily move also through the U.S. and Canadian markets. We also have free trade agreements with Chile, Colombia, and Peru. We have other free trade agreements with the European Union. So when you come and bring products, Filipino products into Mexico, you can easily capture at least 1/3 of the economic world through our free trade agreements.
Yes, Ambassador, you may now invite our viewers to attend this Grito de Dolores, a week-long celebration.
Yes, we're doing the Grito de Dolores. We start, as I said, on the 15th with our call for independence here in Manila. We launched the Tequila Festival yesterday, also here in Makati. Tonight we're going to Alabang. On Thursday we're moving to Cebu. On Friday we will be in Bigan. Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday and Monday we'll be in Davao. The idea is to bring Mexican culture closer to the entire region, not only our drink of tequila, but our traditions, our culture, our music. And of course, we have the mariachi Achay with us today, which are a true symbol of Mexican classical music. Mexican festive music, which we, of course we would like for you, all your public to see this morning.
Okay, maraming salamat. Or, thank you very much, Ambassador. And